All right, pick the glass family. OPPB. Be organized. Be patient. Be persistent. Stick with a budget. I think I'm live here. I can't tell, but my phones or YouTube is acting up one. I don't know who it is. Um, but you know me. I'm a trooper. I work with what I got. Okay, let me line up everything here for you. All right, welcome, Pick the Glass family and first-time viewers. I think my thumbnail had 11 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. Uh, might have might have confused some people, but they know I'm normally 11 a.m., 11 p.m. Everybody in the bed, so hopefully they know that was an honest mistake. I hope everybody can see because my phone is running slow. Try to line everything up, but I'm sure. Okay, bear with me a minute here. So how's everybody doing? Happy Friday to everybody. Another day, another 50 cent or a dollar if you're lucky enough to get a dollar. But hey, it is what it is. Um, Pick three at a glance. And pick three at a glance with a home and no grids, no root subs, no tic-tac-toes, no date sums, no multiple different rundowns and workouts. What I did is I took 22 numbers and I did the 111 rundown on those 22 numbers, and I have all 1,000 numbers and their possible combinations. Okay, what got me there and how I created the pick at a glance strategy is that I was in a hole, a deep hole, and I knew I had to stop digging. So when you're in a hole, stop digging. Okay. Also with this pick three, don't play out of need or greed. We know the numbers. People say they don't run randomly, but they do run randomly. I've been tracking these numbers for 30 years. That's why I say OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, and stick with a budget and play responsibly. Because there's no rhyme or reason to how these random numbers will fall. Okay? So what I did with the pick three at a glance strategy, I put together 4 strategies that you can track all 1,000 numbers at a glance and know what's going on with those 1,000 numbers once you collect the necessary data. And after you collect the data, everything is just tracking the actual numbers and seeing what they're doing, working with the law of average. This is I have 2,000 videos for everybody to go and check and look at and study the pick three at a glance strategy and learn it and build a skill set. Like I said, I practically lost everything. I lost my home, I lost my car, almost lost my wife, and almost lost my job. But then I had to stop digging and I said, okay, what I'm looking at, everything I tried books and played birthdays and played on rainy day numbers and my pet peeve numbers, and none of that was really helping me because I did not know why I was playing the number in the first place. So why I wasn't winning, because I didn't know why I was playing the numbers. And then when I did win with certain methods, and there's hundreds of different methods out there, then most of them want to try and figure out what numbers coming in the next day. There's no method out there that's going to tell you what's coming the next day at all. Silch. The only thing that you have that will more likely help get you into the winning circle like it did me is working with the law average. All the numbers, those 1,000 numbers, have to change positions. And the only way you're going to know what positions or what they're doing is that you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. That's why I came up with a system that you can track all 1,000 numbers on paper. You can track the actual PICK-3 number. You can track the front pair of the number, the back pair of the number. You can track the single pairs, which is 2,710 single pairs. And you can track the individual numbers. So out of all those 2,000 videos, I have shorts and I also have lives and I have videos that I uploaded. So basically with my question and answer strategies sessions now that are live, is going to be people that went to my channel, learned the system, and they come to me on the lives with questions. And if you got questions, I got answers. Because I can explain my system. Is no, I won't be calling flips mirrors and mirrors flips. I won't be saying I believe that the numbers are not random, none of that. I'll be able to explain the strategy in an hour or less to anybody that went and studied. And it's going to take time for you to build a strategy and a skill set to learn the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. And it's a simple strategy because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers and you're working off the law of average. I had somebody text me and ask me what is the law of average. So I'm going to explain the law of average as best I can for you. Here's the law of average for the PICK-3. What it is, let's say out of those 1,000 numbers that you got from 000 to 999, okay? That's 1,000 numbers. Now with those 1,000 numbers, you're going to have an average out of the 10. You got 365 days in a year. So all you're going to get out of those 1,000 numbers is 365 of those numbers. That's 1/3 of those numbers. Okay? All you're going to get is a 30%, or 30% per se. Now, I don't know exact number, but this is as close as I can get in my head where I can explain it and try to make it simple to everybody. Now, let's take a number like this 220. I mean, not 220, 250. Okay? And I wheel it down to 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 258, and 259. Now you have 10 numbers here, right? 10 numbers. Out of these 10 numbers for the whole year, on an average is basically, your blood pressure average is 120/80. That's the average. Anything below or over that numbers is below average or above average. But 120/80 is the average. Just like our lifespan for a man is 77 years old. That's the average lifespan of a man. A woman is 82 years old. That's the average of a woman's lifespan. Anything below that or above that is below or above average. So if I was a betting man and I wanted to bet on somebody that they don't make it past 77, then I'm in a good range of winning. Or a woman don't live past 82, I'm in a good chance of winning. It increases my chances of winning. Just like betting on somebody's blood pressure is going to be 120 and stay there pretty good. That's why life insurance is so cheap when you're younger, because they know the chances of you living up to 77 is great. The older you get, the more your insurance increases. That's what average is. So here on an average, since you're only going to get a third of the 1,000 numbers, you're on average going to get only 3 of these numbers to come exact like they are right here each year. So if you was to run these numbers here every day for 365 days out of the year, exact, you're only going to get 3 of them to come for the whole year. Exact, just like there. You might get the 251 here, the 253, and the 256. That's on average. You know that this roll of numbers had did its average for that year. Now it could be more. Like I say, you can have below average or above average. You might only get 1 for the whole year, or you might get 5. But on average, you're only going to get 3. That's what the PICK-3 at a glance is based off. Here, now this is year 1. Then year 2, you might get the 251, the 252, and the 257. That's year number 2. Then year number 3, you might get the 259, the 258, and the 254. Now that's 3 years. Almost 3 years when they're rotating exact out of these 1,000 numbers, different numbers, before all 1,000 numbers are complete. Then we did 2, 1, 2, and 3. Then the numbers will recycle again, pretty much. But you have to be watching to see what the actual 1,000 numbers are doing in order to place your bet. Like if I place a bet on a man only living to be 77, the odds in my favor, I'm going to win that bet. But if I make a bet that he don't make it to 16, I'm going to lose that bet. Okay? This is what the law of average is about. So we working with the law of average with the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. What we're doing is eliminating all the numbers that have fallen and looking at playing what numbers haven't fallen. The average of those numbers increase the longer it takes for that number to come out. The odds is more in your favor that it will come within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and really, really good if it gets to 120 days. So that's what you're looking for, is the longest numbers that haven't played, that haven't came out. Okay? So that's what the average is about. And that's how PICK-3 at a glance works. And I came up with this from reading and study over 30 years. I got over 100 books that I've read. I looked at all the videos on how to win PICK-3. I studied, I tried my own strategies until I came up with this one that was easy and simple for me to show anybody in an hour or less how to use it, if they use it, and if they're a regular player or a mature player in the PICK-3. I play, depending on how I see the numbers running, I can play every day. I play on average about every other day, if you say an average. I don't try to play every day. I wait till the numbers, look for certain conditionings of what the numbers, how the numbers will line up. When I say I'm looking for a condition on how the numbers line up, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm doing right now. From tracking the actual numbers. And I always know why I'm playing my numbers. If I don't know after tracking why I'm playing my numbers, I don't play them. And I build a bucket of numbers, a skill set. I build a bucket of numbers that I know I'm going to play. Even if I fall off those numbers, when I win, I pick the same numbers back up because I know they ain't came out. Now, I'm playing 500 and 550. That's kind of much my everyday carry number. Let's say you got if you're carrying an everyday carry number, you should know why you're carrying it every day or every other day, or you shouldn't be carrying it. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, what I got here, I know last year from tracking the front pair and back pair that this 5-0 hadn't fell on the front and this 5-0 hadn't fell on the back. Like that, okay? So, when I play this 500, I'm making sure I play the 500 this way, because now I got the front covered, and I'm playing the 555 this way, because I got the back covered. And I also would play this 5-0 as 0-5-0. Now, if I'm placing my bet, I'm going to place heavy on these numbers, pretty much. I know I'm going to play. And I care, these are my everyday numbers. If I don't play a day, the next day I'm going to stick with this number. This is Illinois evening draw. That's what I play. I specialize in Illinois evening draw, but this strategy works because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers for all states. If you go to the moon and you play in PICK-3, you can use this strategy there. I don't care where you go. Because you're working with the actual 1,000 numbers, you're looking at the law average, you're knowing the front pair, the back pair, single digit, and the actual PICK-3 number, and how it fell out. This is what you're looking for. This is the condition I look for. I know that in 2024, this number didn't come out. Now I hit the 250 because I was playing it this way also. This is another number I was playing. Because when I was playing the 2-5, 50, I knew to put this 50 on the back. That's one of the conditions you look for. That's what I mean by conditions, building a strategy and a skill set. You're looking for certain conditions to happen before you pick a number and start playing. For a 50 don't fall on the front and a 50 don't fall on the back, hadn't played for all of 2024 evening, and I go into 2025, this is my number I'm playing. And then when I know that these numbers here didn't fall at all, I know this, I'm not guessing this. You're not gonna know this with a tic-tac-toe, a date sum, a grid, a flip, a mirror, multiple different rundowns. You're not gonna know that unless you're tracking that to know it. And to get in the win, improve your chances of getting in the winning circle, you got to know everything about every number you play. You can't be guessing it. All the other methods are secondary because you can flip and mirror and do everything to those numbers after the fact. And if you can do that, you're going to make up 99% of those numbers to win and figure out what's coming in the next day. But you ain't going to, when you do win, or if you don't win, you don't know how you won and you won't know how you lost if you're not working with the actual 1,000 numbers to get into the winning circle. It just ain't going to happen. Okay? So that's what I mean by the law average. You have to be patient. Take your time. Study more than you play. There's no rush in learning this. Like I say, I lost my car, my house, almost my wife and my job. But I made a comeback. But I know there's people out there going, no matter what you say, gonna keep playing if you tell them to stop playing. So this is to help those that's gonna keep playing. But I tell you, if you're in a hole, stop digging. Don't play out of need or greed. These numbers ain't going nowhere. They've been out for how long? I know 30 years in Missouri or better, maybe more than that. So they're not going anywhere. So there's no rush. Take your time, back off, and do a reset or restart. Just track the actual 1,000 numbers. You'll see a big difference in the way you play. I know I did. When my numbers don't fall right, I'm not worried about, because I know why I'm playing my numbers. I know what I'm looking for. Okay, Illinois. Let me do and get into the pick-3 at a glance here, and let's show everybody how to do that. And then after this, I'll get into the chat with everybody with the questions and the answers. I've had eye surgery, okay? So it's kind of strenuous for me to try to look and do everything and chat and do the work that I'm doing here, the demonstrations and everything. So I'm going to join the chat after I do everything. All right. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat, or I'm going to upload this video and leave them in the video and leave them in the comment section. My plan here is to get everybody I can into the winner circle with this strategy and to help everybody. All the numbers run different in all the states. There's no pattern, no tic-tac-toe, no nothing gonna tell you what's going on in all these states. The only thing gonna tell everybody what's going on is to put your eyes on the prize, on the eyeball, everybody eyeballs on the numbers and what they're doing in their own state. Numbers don't travel. Sorry, they don't travel. They just do what they do. They cross paths as 1,000 numbers. Sorry, certain numbers don't bring certain numbers. Not where you can depend on it. What else they got? Rainy days don't bring certain numbers. None of that. None of that. The only thing you got to work with is the law average and knowing that a number, like I know, that 5-0 didn't fall for a whole year, and I can pick it up for a year. And that's why I hit the 250, because I knew that 50 hadn't fell on the backside, and I knew to play it like that. I didn't guess to play it like that. No tic-tac-toe was going to tell me that. No date sum wasn't going to tell me that. That grid wasn't going to tell me that. No 10 different rundowns wasn't going to tell me that. It's I know it's got to be 200 different methods everybody used to try to figure out what numbers are coming the next day or next couple of days. No pattern wasn't going to tell me that 50 did fall on the front or the back. And if I was playing it as 205, it wouldn't have did me no good. Okay. Illinois evening draw. It had 660 to come out last night. So you do the 1-1 rundown on the 660. And we want to find out where the 660 is on the 22 columns off the 22 numbers, or on what column. Okay? That's your first start. Okay, here we go. At 1 to 6, and this is what we call a rundown. You have 1 to the 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. 1 to 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you get 0. 1 to 0, well, you don't get 0. You really get 10. But in lottery math, you're only going to use the 0 on the right-hand side. Because in the pick-3 and lottery math, you only use single digits. Okay? Then you add 1 to the 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get 5. Then 1 to 5, you're going to get to 6. Same number at the bottom, you get the top, you had it correct. Same thing here, you're just going to count straight down. 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same here, you're going to add 1 to the 0, you're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So I want to know this winning number that came in, where it's going to be on the pick-3 at a glance sheet and strategy. Okay, now you probably I might skip a little bit or something, but the best way is for you to go back and look at a couple of my videos, and it'll all start coming together for you. If it don't, then you come to the live, you ask questions, and I got answers. Believe me, I got answers. I ain't gonna go That ain't gonna happen. I can answer straightforward where you know it. Straightforward where you know it. Got to know to grow. You got to know why you playing these numbers to grow, have a better opportunity to get into the winner circle. You got to know to grow. That's all I can say. You got to know to grow. Okay, now I'm looking for this 660, and that's on strategy number 1. Okay, let's see here. Let me do something here. Strategy number 1 consists of the 22 numbers. And these 22 numbers, you see here, these are the 12 singles columns, right? 12 numbers, which I call base numbers. And I do the 1-1 rundown on these base numbers to get these rundown numbers here. These are called the rundown numbers underneath. These base numbers are the numbers that I came up with to get all 1,000 numbers in a possible combination. Okay? This is the singles. Okay? And singles come 6 different ways. So each column represents 60 numbers. 60 times 12 gives you 720 of those 1,000 numbers on the singles that you can track and know what's going on with the numbers at a glance. Okay? But since that 660 is a double, we're going to go to the doubles. And there's only 10 of those. See there? And these are the base numbers up top. And these are the rundown numbers at the bottom. Okay? So now, I'm looking for the 660. And I want to know what column these doubles are under. And these columns here are 30 numbers apiece. Because these can only come 3 different ways. And you got 30 numbers to each column. And you got your triples in column 6. Okay? Now, 9 times 30 is 270. All the doubles, 270s, are right here in a possible combination. And the triples only come one way. So you got the 720, you got the 270, which gives you 990 numbers, and the triples, which give you 10, all 1,000 numbers. You can glance at, you can look at. You'll know what's going on as you mark them off at a glance. Okay? Now, again, we're looking for that 660. You see here, this 660, when you do the 1-1 rundown on here, the base number will always have a 0 be in that rundown that you're looking for to find what column is in. And all the base numbers have a 0 in it. So it looks like the only number in here with a 0 on the rundown is 004. So you're going to go to column 004 and find the 660. Here's column 4, 004 on the doubles. You go down. Here's 660. Mark it off. Bam, you're done. Simple as that. What we're looking at is a process of elimination. We're eliminating the winning numbers as they come in because we only got 365 of them to eliminate. So that lessens the pool of the numbers you got to look at to play. It lessens the pool of the numbers you got to play. You have to play. It lessens the pool of the numbers you got to play. So you don't have to be focusing on all these 1,000 numbers like you have to do with the tic-tac-toe, dates of degrees and root cells and looking for patterns and all that stuff. Because for a simple fact, you're looking at the actual numbers and what they're doing. You don't have to. This all here is secondary. If you don't know what this is doing, none of this, I don't care what you do, gonna make sense. It can't make sense because you don't know what's going on here. How's it gonna make sense if you don't know what the actual numbers are doing for you to even play? Okay, let me see here. This is a you know a different way of thinking, but it makes sense to me. Now, if it don't make sense to you, leave it in the comment. Tell me where you don't think it makes sense. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to learn. I let a 3-year-old teach me something. If you're talking with sense. You can tell me how this can make sense if you don't know what's going on here at all. With all the numbers. You can't. It's like putting a puzzle together with missing pieces. You can't put a puzzle together with missing pieces. You gotta have all pieces of the puzzle together to make a picture. And this here is the trees. This here is the forest. You got to know what's going on with the whole forest. Other than that, you're playing a loser's game and you're playing in the dark. It's already set up against you, the odds against us, and it's even more against you if you don't know what's going on with those numbers. PICK-3 is all I do. I don't do PICK-4s. It's got 10,000 numbers. No way you're going to track those on paper. PICK-5's got 100,000 numbers. There's no way you're going to track those on paper. This is the only one you can track on paper and know and work with the law of average. And know what's left at a glance. And this is strategy number 1. The doubles. I'm sorry, strategy number 1 is the doubles and the singles. Strategy number 1. The doubles and the singles. All put in numerical order for you. You can screenshot it. Do longhand, make a paper out of it. Make your own papers and do what I did. The winning number that comes in, you're going to see the winning number. One of these base numbers will always be in that rundown. It might not be in the same format because, you know, these numbers come 6 different ways. It depends on how the number falls. This 015 can come 015. It can come 051. It can come 105. It can come 150. It can come 501. And it can come 510. All these numbers come 6 different ways. So depending on the way that number, your winning number come in, depends on how depending on how the base number will come out. I hope I make that somewhat clear. I can do an example of it, but we already did the 601, but I can't do an example with it exactly. See, I can explain this. I can do an example of anything you ask me. I can show you anything you ask me, and I can explain it. Okay. See here, I said this 015, and you see this column here, column 4 on the singles. Now, let me show you something. Let's say the winning number came in as a winning number came in. Let's say 843 is the winning number. Okay, you see that? Now, you do the 1-1 rundown on this here. It's going to be add 1 to the 8, you get 9. 9, you get 0. Which 10, really you use the 0, you count down. 1 0, you get 1. 1 1, you get 2. 1 2, you get 3. 1 3, you get 4. 1 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. Same number at the bottom, you get top, you had it correctly. Add 1 to the 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. 1 to 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you get 0. 1 to 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you're going to get 4. Same number at the bottom, at the top, you had it correctly. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get 7. 1 to 7, you get 8. 1 to 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you get 0. 1 to 0, you're going to get 1. 1 to 2, you're going to get 3. Now, see how this number came? Now, but when you go down to find the base number, which we just, the one column we just talked about, it's going to show us 510. See that? But you see that the 8, so you need to find this 843. You're going to go to column 5. I mean, this 510, because it's going to show as 015. Okay. It's going to show us 015. And this 348 is going to show, I mean, this 843 is going to show as 348 because it's in numerical order. See, everything's in numerical order. Now, you see what I'm saying? You're going to go to the 015, and the winning number going to show as 348, and you mark it off. Bam. The only exception to this, if the 015 is the actual winning number, you would just mark it off. Or the 014 come in as the winning number, you would just mark it off. Because it won't be down here in the rundown number, because it's the winning number that came in. And see, you will remember these numbers. This 012, 013, 014, everything's in numerical. 015, 016, 017, 018, and this 024, 025, 026, 027, 037. You memorize those. They were 12 numbers to memorize. And when you go down and see, because all the numbers, when you do the 1-1 rundown, all these numbers got zeros in it. So when you do the 1-1-1 rundown, like we just did here, all you're going to look for is the numbers with the zeros in them. And you're going to automatically, oh, there it is. That's 015. I know that's 015. That's going to be on the column 4. Oh, like that. Okay? So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. View the videos. They're fairly consistent. Now, next strategy we have is strategy number 3. No, I'm sorry, strategy number 2, tracking the single pairs. Tracking the single pairs. Tracking the single pairs. All right. And what was it? The 665, the 660 that came in? That's a double. Came in yesterday. 6-6 evening draw. Illinois evening draw. Now, you got 2 like numbers only, with 2 different numbers, just the 6 and the 0. 6 and the 0, right? Do you see that? Make sure you can see that. Now, so you're going to have 2 different pairs to mark off, all right? So you're going to mark off the 66 and you're going to mark off the 06. And the object of this is at the end of the month, any pairs that you don't mark off, you're going to carry over to the following month. Any pairs that you don't mark off, you're going to carry over to the following month. Now, if you had, let's say you had 112 to come in, that's We already did a double, so we want to do 1, 1, 2. Let's say you have 1, 2, 3 to come in. Okay? You got 3 different numbers, so you're going to have 3 pairs to mark off. You're going to have the 12 to mark off. You're going to have the 13 to mark off. And if you see this anywhere else, you know it came from me. Nobody had this before I had it. So if somebody telling you, well, you got to pay so much money and all that to show you what they got from me, then you know that they got it from me. That's okay. Because nobody knew. If I gave this triangle to anybody, nobody would know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with it when I put it together. But I figured it out. And it's 23. If you see anybody with this, it comes from Mo Monetary. So you know, and you know, imitation is best form of flattery. So I ain't hot at them about it. As long as they don't try to claim it as theirs, hopefully there'll be decent enough people to give me credit for it. And I already have seen people using it already. And you would have never seen it before I started showing it. Nobody. And if they charging you for something that I gave you, you might want to think about the people you're dealing with. Or if they don't say, okay, this is something I learned from somebody else, especially in this YouTube streets, in these YouTube streets. You should be a decent enough person to say, okay, I got this from so and so and so and so on. And I've been studying this long enough to know that nobody else have it. So you got the 12, the 13, and 23. And I've seen people using it already. And I've been on here 3 years. Okay. And they should be decent enough to say where they got it from. Okay. Now, so you got 3 different numbers. So that's the 12, the 13, 23 for the 1, 2, 3. And let's say you get a triple, like the triple zeros. Or you just would mark off the double for the double zeros. See, this way you know everything about those 2,710 pairs. Nobody would know what this was if they ain't looked at my channel. And I got 4,000 subscribers. And that ain't counting the people that's viewing the channel. I got over, going up now about 500,000, not a half, yeah, 500,000 views so far. That's what they're showing, but you know, I think it's more than that, but you know. You could, like averaging, when you get good at averaging stuff, numbers make real good sense to you. And a lot of this stuff on views and stuff that I've been watching is not averaging out on a lot of channels. A lot of channels. If you got 1 million subscribers and all the views you getting is like 1,000 views out of 1 million subscribers, something wrong with that picture, don't you think? That's on that law average. If you got 1 million subscribers and all you got is 1,000 views on a video when you put it up, I think something wrong with that picture. But you know, anyway, if you ain't running it, you got to run around in it, you know. Now, and like I said, we did the double. That's strategy number 2. See how easy this is, y'all? Tracking and looking, and you can be able to stretch in the skill set and think about what's actually going on with the numbers. And strategy number 3 is tracking the individual numbers. Yeah, people are using my stuff, but that's okay. I created it. I don't compete, I create, so they can't explain it better than I can. If they do, then somebody might, because it's simple. I didn't make it for it to be complicated. I made it with the KISS effect. Keep it super simple. Keep it super simple. Again, the 660, Illinois even draw. So this here, they used to talk about, well, there's still the code number. You know, that's saying, Well, just play the code number with any number, but you never knew what number to play it with. And two, you didn't know how to play it, even if it was code. So I said, I need to know what position the number is code in. Not just that it's code. If it ain't played, I need to know where and how to use it when I'm looking at it. So I put this together from 0 to 9. 0 to 9. 3 columns, which makes sense. And I guess if you was to play a pick 4 or pick 5, you might could do the same thing, but the number's random. That ain't gonna, pick 4 and pick 5 is too tough. Pick 3 is better with the law average. Better with the law average, okay? If they don't use the AI on us and start picking the numbers. But, okay, you're going to mark off, you got 3 columns. You're going to mark off the 6 on the front, the 6 on the front, the 6 in the middle, and the 0 on the end, okay? If you say have a number like 1, 2, 3 come in, you're going to mark off the 1 on the front, 2 in the middle, 3 on the end. And quite naturally, if you have triple zeros in triple zeros, you just mark off all 3 spots. So the way this is valuable here, say for instance, what that 66 came in, like this, 660 came in, and I was playing that as my daily number, carry number for some reason. And at the end of the month, I realized that the 0 hadn't hit on the front end. I would definitely play this 660 as 066 that following month. Or if I see that it didn't fall in the middle, I definitely would play this 660 as 606 along with the way I'd be playing it. You want to know where the number is missing at, not just that it's code. So you'll know how to play the number. So when I track, you want to see what's left over by the law average for the best way to play it. Okay? Like right now, like I said, I'm playing, my carry is the 550 and the 500, right? So quite naturally, now that I know that the 0 didn't fall on the front, now you know, and it's been 56 days, and I didn't fall yesterday, so about 57 days. I know this, I ain't guessing none of this. I'm definitely going to be playing this here as 055 for sure, if I don't put a 56 straight on it. And I'm going to play this as 050. That's what I mean by the strategy and the skill set and working with the law average. See that? I'm definitely going to do that. If I don't play with this here and play a straight box and 50 box, if I ain't got enough money, you know, like I say, play responsibly. Don't burn your money up. You know when to load up on these numbers if you're tracking it. And all these state numbers going to run different. But there's going to be conditions like, you know, the weather band. There's certain conditions that there's going to be a tornado or a hailstorm or a thunderstorm or whatever. These are the conditions you're looking for when you know a 0 ain't fell on the front end in 50 some odd days. Or one time I knew that 7s hadn't hit, and believe it or not, hadn't hit for 2 months. In Missouri, no 7 with no number. Who would have thunk it? How you wouldn't know that with the root sums, they sum, grits, and tic-tac-toes. They just don't show you enough to look at the big picture. You got to look at the big picture. Even when when your number's not coming in, you know what's going on with the numbers. And I hit the 777s came out. Because, you know, I was playing 77 cat, rat, dog, 77. I was naming changed my address to 7, because I knew them 7s had to fall. working with the law average. But I say it's still random, you know what I'm saying? But working with the law average, like I said, is a more likelihood than not that 777 was going to drop. But I still placed, I wheeled the 777s all the way down. I wheeled the 777. So anyway, this is another strategy. Let's see, where is that? I wheeled the 777s all the way down. 770, 771, 772, 773, 774. Let me make sure I got this where you can see it. 775, 776, 778, 779. Yeah, right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7, 7. 7, 7, 8, and 7, 7, 9. Did I do that right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. $50. And what happened, the 7, 7 did fall, but it didn't bring the triples with it. But when I hit it, I still hit it on the double in Missouri is $80, $100, I believe, yeah. So you know what I did, don't you? When I hit, I loaded up on these 7s and it came in. Straight. Working with the law average. That's what's to our advantage. The law average to your advantage. Willing the numbers, same way with the pair. If you know a pair ain't came in, you will it. Will it down. Then, if the column come in, you know where you're going to put your money at on that column. Okay. Let's go to strategy. Then my last strategy is strategy number 4. Simple but powerful strategy. Simple, powerful strategy. Strategy number 4. We had 660 to come in, right? So you got the front pair and bottom pair. Or front pair and back pair, rather. You got the front pair and back pair. Both of these numbers on top and bottom are the same. Okay? So you had the 660 to come in. So I'm gonna mark off the 66, and I'm gonna mark off the 60 on the back. Even if you can't play back pair and front pair, you need to know what your front pair and back pair on your numbers are doing. In your estate, you need to know to get into the winner circle and be a bigger and better winner. You need to know to grow. You need to know to grow. Okay? And remember, go slow, you get more. You ain't got to spend all your money up on these numbers. Go slow, you get more. Okay? Now, just track. Okay. Now, how this come into play? Any number that comes in, I already know what my strategy number 1, I know how to check it. My strategy number 2, I know how to check it. My strategy number 3, I know how to check it. Now the strategy number 4. Strategy number 1, the first thing I'm going to do is see what numbers came in or didn't come in. Strategy number 2, I'm going to look at what pairs came in and what didn't come in. Strategy number 3, the same way, and this here too. This here is a yearly chart. You can track it. You want to do it every day if you can, but it don't take but a minute. If you miss a week to catch up, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm not going no farther than a week trying to catch up. It don't take long to catch up. So uh, what you want to do, if say for the end of the year, you realize toward November, December is when you really want to start evaluating what you got here, working with the law average. Let's say, for instance, in November, and you didn't mark them off, you realize that the 8-8 on the front didn't fall, and the 8-8 on the back didn't fall, and no triples have failed for that whole year. For the whole year. That's how I play. I really don't play triples or spend a lot of time and money on triples at all because they don't pay that well. No different than all the other numbers, and it's harder to hit those. They pay, but it's harder to hit them because you can only get them one way. Then the doubles was the next hardest, but your singles, you got 6 ways to get them. Doubles, you only got 3 ways, and triples, just 1 way. So that's why I don't invest a lot of time and energy on triples. But it's good to know what they're doing, because I had in Missouri in 2023, the AA hadn't fell on the front, and AA hadn't front and hadn't fell on the back. So I was telling everybody to start getting on triple eights. And no triple had failed for the whole year. See, when I showed you about the law average, that at least out of 10 numbers you play every year, on average, if exact 3 of them gonna come. So if you know you got a column of 10 and nothing fell out for the year, that's your column to look at. And triples are easy to do that way because, it's easy to know if a triple fell or not. So if a triple don't fall, and I know 8-8 or whatever, 8-8 on the front and back, triple eights, that triple gonna be my number to play. And triple eights came out. And Missouri and everybody was with me won. I don't try to guess triples. I wait till the end of the year. If they play out, they just play out. Because I ain't putting no money in them anyway. But if it get toward the end of the year and I'm licking my chops, hoping don't no triple fall. Really. Hoping don't no triple fall. But still, only one triple can fall for the whole year. No rhyme or reason, because I think in 2024 evening draw Missouri, only triple zeros, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, triple zeros only failed once for the whole year. That's what I'm saying. There's no rhyme or reason to how these numbers are going to fall. No rhyme or reason. But at least you know what's going on with them. Or what's going on with them when they fall. Or don't fall. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. All right. I think all right, you can do a single digits like that. If you know, I'll use a perfect example that I always use pretty much, is that one year, this 5-2 didn't fall on the front for the whole year. And this 2-7. See, I'm never guessing my numbers that I'm playing. I know because I've been tracking and building a bucket list all year long. And this 2-7 hadn't fell on the back. And it don't take no time to do that. So there's 2-7 on the front and the 2-7. Now, quite naturally, I got 2 brothers. One of my brother's birthday is on 4-2-7. One of them is on 5-2-7. And mine is on 9-2-7. Don't ask me how that happened, but that's what happened. One's on 4-2-7, 5-2-7, 9-2-7. So quite naturally, I pay attention to that 4-2-7 or 5-2-7, 9-2-7. So his birthday didn't fall for the front and the back end hadn't failed. And first thing I do is go to strategy 1 to see, because I do an annual sheet 2 off the strategy number 1. And I found that the 5-2-7 hadn't failed for the whole year. So I picked it up the next year to carry as my everyday carry. I'd carry it, I drop off of it, but 90% of the time when I played extra, I'll make it my daily carry. More often than not, I play it. So it was his birthday, and we was having a birthday party on it, birthday party, and I said, okay, that's my brother's birthday. I better load up on it today because it ain't came yet. So today would be a good day for it to come. And it came just like that, 527, because law average had to catch up with itself. That 5-2 hadn't played on the front all year. And the 2-7 on the back, just like that 250 I hit, the 250 hadn't played all year. You see what I'm saying? These numbers, they go over from year to year. It could take 4 years for these numbers to rotate out. That's why you can't be hopping on and off numbers trying to hit. Trying to figure out what number coming the next day, and you're going to get off a number that probably due to hit that ain't hit in 60 or 90 days. Okay? And another beautiful thing about the pick 3 at a glance strategy, let me get this here. I'm going to use the, and you want to know about the numbers and their opposites. I don't call them, you might have heard the term mirrors. I don't use the term mirrors. I've been saying mirrors for a long time, but I said I was going to get away from that because everybody, they'll say mirrors when they mean flips, and they'll say flips when they mean mirrors on a lot of channels that I see. And I didn't want to have that confusion with the people that on this channel, I Pick 3 at a Glance family, coming this. I want them to get a definite terminology of what a number opposite, actual number opposite is of the 1,000 numbers. Let me see something. Yeah, let me do this first. I got to get you to understand here. I think I'm going to do this first. Now, I don't use that flips. Flips is a total different terminology. Don't understand it. Don't see where it makes sense to me. Like I say, I just don't. Or where it's applicable to getting you in the winner circle where it's understandable. And if you want to know about flips, you just, I'll show you here. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, these numbers here, you add plus 5 to the top numbers to get the bottom numbers. You add 5 to 0, you get 5. 5 to 1, you get 6. 5 to 2, you get 7. 5 to 3, you get 8. 5 to 4, you get 9. Okay? Makes sense. And that, taking the 1,000 numbers, divide them in half. Triple zeros on top to 499. Okay, you see that? That makes pretty good sense. 500. Well, 500 to 999. That makes sense. Okay. So let's say you was playing 0, 1, 2. And the lottery played the 5, 6, 7 here. They just played your opposite number because 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0. 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1. 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3. 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. That makes sense. 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0. 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1. 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, or vice versa. If you played this here and the lottery played the 0, 1, 2, they just played the opposite. And that happens. That happens a lot. You'll play this and a number, they'll play an opposite number. But with the tic-tac-toes and the date sums and the grids, they want to tell you, well, there the number was, it came out 5, 6, 2, but you should have flipped the 2 and made it a 7. Right. I'm just telling y'all. I'm supposed to flip that 2. If you want, I'm going to tell you, if you want off a number, if you got to flip a number, if you got to do any of those things, you didn't know why you was playing the number in the first place. Because when you know you playing your number, you ain't going to do none of that. You're going to stick with your number. You ain't going to do none of that. There ain't going to be no need to. Why would you? The only reason you do this stuff is because you didn't know why you was playing the number in the first place. And the only way you ain't gonna know why you was playing your number is because you wasn't tracking them. That's all I can say about that. Now, let's say you played 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna just do that again. If you played 6, 7, 8, and the lottery played 1, 2, 3, they just played the top number, and vice versa. Say you played 1, 1, 2, and the lottery played 6, 6, 7. They just played your opposite double and vice versa. If you played 0, triple zeros, and the lottery played 5, 5, 5. Okay? That's all. They're exact opposite of each other. And if you want to know about flips, I don't want to confuse you with that. You can study flips. There's a lot of channels that explain what flips are, but I explained them on a couple of videos. You can look at that. But I don't do them because they're not beneficial in my book to the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the beauty of this here and what you're looking for when I say you're looking for certain conditioning. Now I'm gonna show you how the conditioning works. Here's the conditions you're looking for. What I just showed you on all these columns, the numbers do the same exact thing in numerical order. Each one of these columns got its number and the opposite. Okay? See this 015? The opposite of it is 560. See? 560 in the same column. See this 125? See this 125? I mean 126 got its opposite, 671. 671. See the 237? It's got its opposite. This the 782. See this 348? It has its opposite, the 893. Okay? See the the 459, it has its opposite, the 904. Okay? All in numerical order. So the conditions you are looking for as you're tracking these, this here, you would do a monthly sheet and I do an annual sheet where I'm tracking everything, one sheet for the whole year, and then one sheet I do from January, February, March, April. That way I know if a whole column ain't played. When I tell you about a column of numbers that might not play for 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Yeah, you can get a column don't play for 90 days. That's the condition you're looking for. So you'll know that's the column you're going to. And what you're looking for, after you then marked off, and you know a column all of a sudden stop hitting, what you would do is you're going to look for what numbers are left on the column and its opposite that hasn't played. So if you see a condition where the 015 and its opposite, the 560 hasn't played, you're going to play those two numbers. Because the law average of likelihood of one or the other coming in is great. Or if you get the 015 and the 126 and the 560 and the 610 and 671, where those four are opposite each other, don't play, you're going to play those four. Normally what I do is play the whole column 50 box and say those four I'm looking and load up a little bit more on those four or those two. Then when I say those four don't hit, but something 9 out of 10 with the average is going to come off that column. And the money that I hit with, I reinvest back into these numbers that I know haven't failed yet. You're looking for the numbers that haven't failed. you narrow the numbers down so you can choose the best numbers to play. And as you narrow them down, choose the best numbers to play, what you're doing is making your bucket list all at the same time. So when you do drop off those numbers and you win, you going back to pick, you know what numbers to go pick back up, and not a grid, a root sum, a date sum, a tic-tac-toe, a multiple different rundowns going to show you that. It just ain't going to happen. You got to know to grow. You got to know to grow. Okay, that's the condition. The same way with the doubles, same way. Doubles can take longer. These columns, the doubles can take 5 to 6 months. And well, the longest I've tracked, 5 months. Can take 5 months and won't hit, might hit one time and not hit no more again like it did in Illinois last year. That in column 5, the 616 was the first New Year number of the year. And then column didn't hit no more for about 3 or 4 months, for 4 months for sure. For 4 months, no number. But I had my eye on it. So I set up, as soon as I win, I had my eyes on the number. I built my bucket list and I hit the 388. That was last year. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow and get in the winner circle. Okay. All these two same. You're looking for the numbers and the opposite. The opposite of this double, the 004, opposite of it is the 559. The 115, opposite of it is the 660. All of them, at a glance, you know what's going on with them. Number conditioning again on the pairs. Like I said, on the pairs. If you see, like here, the 449 and the 9, and this 44 and 99, they opposite pairs of each other. Hadn't hit for 3 months in Illinois even draw. So I was playing triple fours, triple nines, and 044, and 044. One off it. You got to know to grow. You got to know what's going on with these numbers and these pairs. And they're opposites. You know that the double zeros opposite of double fives, double ones, double sixes, double twos, double sevens, double threes, double eights, double nines, double fours, double nines. The opposite, these numbers have their opposites also. The 0, 1 opposite is 5, 6. See? So if you see a pair that's opposite ain't played, that's conditionings you're looking for. It's very seldom that you're going to get those conditionings, but you got to know them when they show up. And you will. So you always want to know what the opposites are. Numbers and their opposites. Front pair, back pair. Numbers and the opposites. Front pair, back pair. Study that. Okay, y'all. I think I'm open up for chats. Any more questions here? Thank you. How you doing, Hashna? How you doing, Hashna? Any questions? Anybody? Glad to see everybody with me. Everybody, yeah. Everybody remember OPPB. Be organized. Be patient. Be persistent. Stick with the budget. Play responsibly. And if you're tracking, you'll soon be packing the lucky town. Okay, yeah. Those pairs gonna show a lot. I'm thinking those pairs might be what we need to look at more with this AI thing. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at Illinois a little bit sideways right now, but I'm still like I say, study more than you play, track more than you play. Track more than you play. Oh, okay. 107. It came in Illinois just the other day, the 107. Yeah. But like I say, I usually don't do birthdays myself, not even mine, unless I know where I'm playing it. But, you know. Since January 14, 07 back prayer and job. Since January 14. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. Like I say, we can track them all. You don't play them all, but if you like I say, if it's a back pair, you know, is usually on back pairs before I get really into the back pairs is near the end of the year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can look at that. All right, family. I got to make a run here. So, like I always say, play them till they come, make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless. And if you're tracking, you'll soon be packing to Lucky Town.